Inside this box is the brand new ASUS ROG Ally X, the latest version of one of the most popular handheld gaming PCs of the last year. And I've actually never owned the ASUS ROG Ally, so I'm really excited to check this out. That being said, I do currently own the Steam Deck OLED, and I have owned the Lenovo Legion Go in the past, so I have some experience with this style of handhelds, but I've never owned the ROG Ally. I don't know why, I just never pulled the trigger on it, and I decided when they announced the ROG Ally X to pre-order it. Before we actually get into the console, let's first take a look at the box itself while I try and cut off this plastic that's not coming off for some reason. For those of you who are new to the channel, it'd mean the world to me if you guys subscribed. We're literally about to hit 100,000 subscribers. Can't believe it, we're so close. I think at this point, within 1,000 subscribers. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure. So this box comes in black, like the console itself. You've got ROG Ally X on the top with the ASUS, I guess, security tape. On the front of the box, you've got this iridescent, silvery logo. And then on the back of the box, it says handheld console PC, PC console portable RC72LA. And then you've got some other information like the CPU, the storage, all that sort of good stuff. So if you're watching my video, I'm sure by this point you know probably all there is to know about the ASUS ROG Ally. And I gotta be completely honest with you guys, I don't know that much about it. I'm just unboxing it, I'm gonna use it for the next week and then give you guys a full review once I've gotten some time to really play with it. Look at this. Oh my gosh. So inside the box, we've got what seems to be just some information on where the power is, how you plug it in, how you turn it on. And then apparently they also included some little stands for your ASUS ROG Ally because there is no kickstand. Plastic stands. I might even just leave these in the box because these seem like they kind of suck. So I guess we'll try them out before I say completely no to them. Let's pull out this handheld really quick. Ooh, it's got a nice weight to it. Before we get to the actual handheld itself, let's first take a look at the rest of the stuff that comes inside the box. You've got the charging brick right there. Very nice. USB-C. I believe the ROG Ally X is capable of up to 100 watt charging, but the charger itself is not that. I think it might be 65 watts is what I can gather from this. I just know that it's not 100 watts, but very nice. Obviously comes included in the box. You don't always get this anymore. It's crazy. But this is basically a mini PC, so you should. And then inside this other flap, you've got what seems to be your startup guide. ROG Ally X gaming handheld, your warranty information, and your safety information. Now, according to ASUS, this is not the second generation of the console. This is just like a pro version of the console, essentially, or a slightly upgraded version of the console. But it does feature some really nice new upgrades, like double the size of the battery. Apparently, this is an 80 watt-hour battery versus the 40 watt-hour battery on the original ASUS ROG Ally. It not only gets double the battery, but even more than that, which is pretty impressive. Or double the playtime, excuse me. So unfortunately, this console now only comes in black. I kind of like the white version of it, but apparently the X only comes in black. Maybe they'll release new versions in the future, and they've also changed up the ergonomics of this handheld a little bit. So on the original ASUS ROG Ally, this edge was a little bit straighter and more angular. Now on this newer version, it's more rounded, so it should fit in your palm a little bit better. Another big change is that they stiffened up the thumbstick a little bit, so it should give you a tad bit more resistance, and also it apparently lasts 2.5 times longer, or 2.5 times longer, which is kind of wild. Another improvement is that they changed the buttons on the back of the console so you can click them in pretty much any direction. They've added a second USB-C. It's Thunderbolt capable, so you can use your external GPUs that use Thunderbolt, which is really, really cool. Apparently they've also updated the cooling, so it should run cooler and also run quieter. And the other thing is that they moved the micro SD card slot, and hopefully the micro SD card no longer has any heating issues. Oh, and also they changed the D-pad a little bit, so you should be able to feel the 8 directions a little bit better than you were before. But I have very limited experience with the first ASUS ROG Ally from just using store units or my friend's unit, so I haven't actually had a good chance to really play this thing. So this is all new to me. So I'm gonna go through the setup process, get everything going, and then I'll come back to you guys in a couple minutes. Actually, it might be more than a couple minutes because this is a full-on Windows PC. All right, so in the hand, it feels really, really good, and I kind of want to compare it to the Steam Deck OLED really quickly. The Steam Deck OLED is definitely lighter, and I think the immediate in-the-hand feel is slightly better, but the ASUS ROG Ally is not bad. There's not a lot of support underneath like this area. With the Steam Deck OLED, it really sits in your palm nicely. This one, not that much, and you kind of got to use your fingers to prop it up. But I have heard that this can cause strain on your pinky, so you don't want to use your pinkies to prop it up like that. So I'm interested to see how that all goes as I play this thing. But yeah, definitely weight-wise, it feels heavier. I do actually have a scale right here. Let me check on the scale. Okay, so the ASUS ROG Ally X is 1 pound, 8.1 ounces, and the Steam Deck OLED is 1 pound, 5.9 ounces. So definitely lighter, and I actually feel the difference in hand. It's not like a huge difference, obviously. It's only a 3-ounce difference, or I guess even 2-ounce difference, but it is a difference. Another thing is that the Steam Deck OLED is significantly thinner in the center of the console versus the ASUS ROG Ally, which when you're gripping it, is kind of nice because you have more room for your fingers here. There really is such a long setup process. While this is happening, why don't we talk about some of the tech specs of this device. You've got an AMD Ryzen Z1 Extreme processor, which is the same one that you had in the higher-end ASUS ROG Ally, so processing-wise, it's not going to be significantly faster. However, they did increase the RAM from 16 gigs to 24 gigabytes of RAM, plus they increased the speed of the RAM to, I believe, 7500, so it should be faster overall. I don't want Microsoft 365. I just don't care. I don't want it. In terms of the display, you've got a 7-inch 1080p display, 120 Hz capable, which is a good thing. I will say that I didn't think I was gonna like the RGB lights on the front of the device, but I actually don't mind them. They're not bad, and you can obviously change them. They're kind of cool, and they cycle. I dig that. This update could take up to 30 minutes. Feel free to walk away or play or surf a game while you wait. Okay, all right, well. Now the ASUS ROG Ally X does come with 1 terabyte of storage standard, which is decent. However, they do allow you to upgrade it to up to 8 gigabytes if you're willing to install a new SSD. Very cool that they allow you to do that. And it doesn't look like it'd be too difficult, just a couple screws there that you gotta pop open. But yeah, so far so good. The hand feels nice, the textured triggers are nice, I really don't mind those at all. The face buttons feel good. I'm really liking the D-pad, I'm really liking the way that the thumbsticks feel. And these back buttons. I'll probably accidentally click them all the time, but it doesn't really matter because I won't program them with anything for most games, so not a problem. But speaking of problems, there is one pretty major problem, and that's the price. Unfortunately, the ASUS ROG Ally X comes in at $800 or $799, which for what you're getting isn't bad. However, the problem is when you compare it to the previous ASUS ROG, which yes, does have some issues, and yes, might not be as powerful overall as this, it's like $650 for the Z1 Extreme version, which is the same processor you're getting in this console or device, and you're saving $150. $650 is also the same price that you would pay for the top of the line 1 terabyte Steam Deck OLED, which again is not as powerful, but at the same time, it's still a great device and it still runs all the games on the Steam store, at least that are Steam capable, totally fine. Now, of course, the big difference between the Steam Deck OLED and of course the ASUS ROG Ally is that this is a Windows PC, this runs Steam OS, so you are gonna be able to play every game on Steam versus this where you can't play all of them. You can't play like Madden or games with those anti-cheats on them, like the newer Call of Duties, whereas on this you can. The problem is that Windows is a bit more clunky on a handheld device than Steam OS. Steam OS is a breeze, it's wonderful. I haven't charged this, that's why I'm not turning it on. But the user interface is so much easier and simpler to use. That being said, if you prefer Windows, you're used to Windows, and you want to play your entire library of games, you should definitely go for a Windows handheld. And as far as I'm concerned, the ASUS ROG Ally X might be the best out of all the Windows handhelds that are available. It's one of the most expensive, so you are going to be paying a lot of money for what you're getting, and you could get a similar experience by paying less for the standard ASUS ROG Ally, or even the Lenovo Legion Go, because it's on a bunch of discounts right now. But if you want the top of the line, this is a good way to go. From what I've heard, I haven't actually gotten mine running yet. But unfortunately, I think I've talked about all that I can talk about without actually using this device, and it seems like there's another at least 30 minutes left of updating, so I guess I'll leave you guys with that. But like I said, I'm going to be playing this for the next week. I'm going to be enjoying it. I'm not going to be running any benchmarks. I'm purely just going to be using it as a personal device, and I'll give you guys my personal experience in the full review. So if you guys want to see that, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Again, we are about to hit 100,000 subscribers. It's going to be crazy. I can't wait. Thank you all so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you all in the next one.